and welcome to Arcade Spotlight. We're glad you can join us from the vast regions of space to follow us on this epic journey through arcade history. In today's episode, we'll be taking a look at a fondly remembered vector from the golden age of video games that has you taken to the skies during the Great War.
Well, let me tell you about Red Baron. I don't know much history about it.
Red Baron was released in 1981 by Atari. It was a monochrome vector simulating first-person aerial warfare. It was made for one player, and it comes in an upright and cockpit cabinet.
I know it was made by Atari. I don't remember what year it was exactly, but I remember being a kid and seeing it in the arcade and thinking it was amazing because it was one of the first cockpit games that you would sit down and watch people play. And it was amazing at that point in time.
A vector game by Atari came out in around 1980. You're a pilot shooting down enemy planes. It's a very simple concept shooter.
My first experience with it was in a small arcade in White River, Arizona, and it built a bowling alley, theater, Olympic swimming pool / arcade, first-person flight simulator that was developed by Atari, released in 1980.
There seems to be a bit of confusion on the release date. While some sources say 1980, others will say May or June of 1981. The US Copyright Office shows Atari's first instance of using the Red Baron name was for a promotional tape in 1979, then other material was copyrighted by 1981. Flyers of the time frame show Red Baron alongside other 81 releases like Centipede and Asteroids Deluxe, as opposed to the 1980 hits like Missile Command or its sister game, Battlezone.
My jam was Battlezone more than Red Baron at the time. I wish I'd played more Red Baron though. Basic, vector graphic, black and white. It's a great Atari game. I'd seen it in upright cabinets before, and I played it a little bit. This cockpit version that we have here at Starfighters is a very, very rare thing to find, so I think everyone should have a chance to play it at least.
You fly a plane in a first-person viewpoint. You're going after airplanes and blimps.
You have tanks on the ground that shoot at you and turrets on the hills. Enemy biplanes come at you either single or in a wave of three. If they're the wave of three, you have to figure out the order to shoot them down because they attack you in sequence. If you get a little bit further in the game and you aim for the wrong plane in the sequence, you don't usually have time to get back and save yourself.
If you hold the gun down too long, your guns overheat.
Generally, you want to hit the oncoming aircraft as soon as you possibly can. The smaller they are, the more points they possess. If they get in behind you, then you're immediately shot down, or if you take any ground fire, you're immediately shot down. It's really about avoiding any incoming munitions.
It progressively gets more difficult, like most games do, but once you get past a few stages, like everything's shooting at you and you're just dead. The controls are very, very similar to Battlezone's controls. One stick instead of two as far as the controls go, but the stick feel is pretty much the same. It feels different sitting down playing the game. You know, you feel like you're actually in a cockpit and you've got the stick in front of you and you're trying to shoot down the opposing aircraft. The perspective you're at, you know, you're looking past your own propeller and trying to fire at other things, and the pitch and yaw is fairly responsive and you can get away from you really quick.
I just like sitting down and relaxing for a while after I've been at work all day. So I just sat down in the cockpit and started playing, and I was having a good time.
The name of the game is based off the actual Red Baron, German flying ace Manfred von Richthofen, but that was probably the only relation he has towards this game.
The game is really more of just a first-person simulator. I do know that one thing about him was that he did, one tactic he utilized was to fly high and in the sun so that he could blind his opponents.
For when it came out, it was a great adaptation. Would he be excited with it today? Absolutely not.
Regardless of origin, Red Baron isn't well remembered with the average gamer, but over the years it has been seen in multiple Atari collections, and it has been credited for starting the company Microprose. Richthofen's moniker can be found on plenty of software for PC, as well as other places in pop culture.
It's one that is worth a play every once in a while, but again, it's not something that when I come here I play on a very frequent basis. I'll say I prefer Battlezone more so, but for what it was, I'd still have to say I'd give it a thumbs up.
It came out around the time that a lot of other things came out. So vector graphic games were really neat, but black and white vector graphic games kind of went to the wayside quickly, where color vector graphic games came out and just technology pushing stuff forward. It's addicting, it really is. Very challenging. You jump in, you fly a plane, and you crash pretty quick. Or you get shot down pretty quick. It's the idea that you want to stay alive, which drives you first, and then you want to go for the high score after you get a little bit of time behind the stick. It's a great game. Honestly, if it wasn't off right now, I'd be playing it.
First time I played it was at Starfighters, and I just enjoyed the game right from the start. It's just a fun shooter. Just sit down and fly your plane and start shooting down the enemy.
One of the first person shooters that was ever out there, actually, and I think successfully pulled it off. I enjoyed playing it quite a bit. Our cockpit we got out of Central California, Santa Clara, from an operator who ended up having an arcade warehouse raid a couple of years later. One of the classics from the golden era of arcades, in my opinion, one of the better vector games that are out there, and one that you should try.
Red Baron was a fine vector with a good amount of action and fair difficulty to keep you coming back. There were other options, sure, but there hasn't been anything like it since. I'd say it's worth a try if you want to become a Baron in the sky. This has been Arcade Spotlight. I'm Jacob Ross, and we'll see you soon. Want to play the games featured on the show? Come check us out. We're located at 4840 East Jasmine Street, number 102, Mesa, Arizona, 85205 near Falcon Field and the Monastery. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to support the channel by giving us a like, comment, sharing the video around, and hitting that subscribe button. It really helps us out. You can also find us on our Facebook and our personal website. Once again, thanks for watching, and we'll be seeing you.
It's freaking hard, man!
Look, it's Battlezone, Dave.
Hey! That's a good game.
It's like it's not plugged in.
That's actually what you just tripped on.
Look, it's not even on.
Because of
Do you need anything else, Steve?
His initials spelled jam.
Those are my initials, yes.
He jams the board, and what that means is he gets the scores, and they all have his initials. He's good.